Hi, good morning. Heather Crockett with True Concept Title Insurance.
Excellent. And then you want to have a little bit more about your firm, just a minute or two about your.
Sure. So True Concept Title, we are a family-owned and operated title insurance company. I'm here up in New York, in the Northeast here, and our main operations center is in Florida on the West Coast. We have another operations center in Texas and California. So we do have a national footprint. And we basically partner with lenders for the most part to be that single point of contact for all of their out-of-state settlement needs. So, we're title insurance, so we don't typically deal with the clients that, face-to-face like you guys are dealing with the clients and directing them and guiding them. We're kind of very much on the back end of things, working with the lenders and the attorneys to get, the title searches squared away, to make sure that your clients have full ownership of their house, no liens recorded, all of that stuff. So we're very much in the backside. I can tell you from, things that I've been hearing, been reading, as like Andrea said, and then Lance reiterated, the prices aren't coming down anytime soon. I know people are getting frustrated and they are hoping that prices are going to come down, but the reality of it is yes, people are, the builders are now gearing up to build new homes, right? But it's going to take a while to catch up. So the buyers have to realize this, and they just have to be patient. So I can see the frustration, I get their frustration, but they do have to be patient. Prices aren't going to come down for a while. Like Andrea said, unless the inventory can catch up to the demand, which it's not going to for a while. So, everything with production and manufacturing and supply demand issues and all of that stuff that COVID made worse. I mean, we were seeing that before. We were seeing inventory at a low and not meeting demand as it was before COVID. But now COVID hit and we have all the supply issues, and people can't find enough help to help them build. All of those issues go into the builders being able to build more houses. And that all is going to take a while to catch up, and then to allow the builders to finally, get their foothold into, having enough inventory for the people that are out there. So it's going to take a while. And definitely with the what we've been seeing on the title side is, because we work directly with the lenders, I said, for the most part, and we've obviously been seeing the refinances, which were very strong for the last 2 years. They've pretty much dropped off. One thing that's kept us consistent, and I think is going to be on the increase in the next, several years, is reverse mortgages. And we've been doing that since we opened our doors. That was like our first client, was a reverse mortgage client. And so, I think people are starting to realize that have homes, are lucky enough to have homes, right? At this point, I think people are starting to realize that reverse mortgages can help them. They're not the reverse mortgages of the 80s and 90s where people did get taken advantage of, right? There's a lot of regulations now surrounding the reverse mortgages. So I do think that, like I said, that has been a very strong foundation for us. Whereas the purchase market and the refinance market is very cyclical, very up and down, but that has been pretty consistent for us. So we're very grateful for having to get into that when we did. And I do think that is going to be on the upward swing. But, as far as purchases and supply and demand, all of that goes, it remains to be seen, but I definitely think prices are not coming down for a while. So
I agree.
Buyers need to stay with it, stay the course, right? But just be patient.
Come back to Heather. Do you want to expand a little bit? I know what they're about and all, but do you want to expand a little bit about what exactly a reverse mortgage is and how that works for the kind of as a follow-up?
Well, I'll be completely honest. because I don't work with the clients to advise them on the reverse mortgages, I don't know 100% how it works. So I'm very transparent about that. Maybe Andrea can speak to that better. But you do have to a certain age, I believe it's 62 and a half. And you have to have equity in your home, obviously. And but the main thing is, if you're considering a reverse mortgage, talk to an attorney, talk to your CPA, your accountant, your family. Make sure it's the right decision for you, and that's kind of where the regulations kind of surround, everything with reverse mortgages now. They want you to talk to all these people to advise you properly, rather than just jumping into a reverse mortgage because your lender is telling you that or whoever is, or maybe a family member is telling you that that's a great option for you, or a friend. But if you're considering it, if you're in that age bracket and you're considering a reverse mortgage, just talk to the right people. Like I said, your accountant, your CPA, your attorney. But it is helpful for a lot of people, and it does, it does get them through their retirement. So it can be a great option for people. And I think, they need to understand that. We've said so much, and I think so much of it, people kind of understand at this point. I guess for me, for title, doing title insurance, it's the most boring topic out of, everybody else. And like I said, the consumer, the borrower, doesn't see us, right? We're very much on the back end, like I said. And I had one person actually a few weeks ago say to me, I had no idea really what title insurance was until I needed it. And he said, honestly, I thought it was a racket. He goes, I just remember being at the closing table at one of my houses and, signing the 30,000 page document or whatever it is, signing your life away. And he happened to ask about it. And he was like, yeah, okay, I'm never going to need that. It's just something that the bank, basically, it's an extra way for the bank to make money, right? And he said about a year later, he got a knock on the door. He says, honestly, I don't remember if it was like a sheriff or a collection person. I don't know. But they proceeded to tell him that he owed $75,000. And he was like, I'm sorry, what? Come to find out, him and his wife purchased this house that was a flip. And this contractor that had purchased the house, I guess had a whole bunch of LLCs and was trying to hide a lot of stuff that he wasn't supposed to be doing, all of this illegal activity. And so it took a while, basically, for something to get recorded, his non-payment to a subcontractor. And thankfully he had the title insurance that the lender required him to get, right, for $3,000. He said it was something like $3,000. And because of that, he did not have to pay out on that $75,000 or pay an attorney to deal with it. He said he was completely hands off, and it took them about a year to figure it all out. But he said after he closed the door on that guy and gave him the phone number for his lender, he said he was completely out of it. So he was very, very thankful for it at that point. But I do think, with everything being so digital now, I think, we talk about, you might hear deed fraud, right? And you can read a lot of things on the internet that say it's not going to happen, like it's too difficult. Well, guess what? The criminals are getting smarter and smarter too. And there's more and more stuff about you online, right? Everything's collecting your data. So I really think that is going to be more on the rise, unfortunately. Just like ransomware attacks and everything else that we're hearing about, your ID stolen, all of that stuff. I think it's really going to go on the rise as we live more digitally. So don't complain about your lenders requiring you to have title insurance. I guess that's the bottom line.